Okay, YouTube. I'm back after about a month of researching, what would be a good continuation of the intermediate lesson series. I've found that after talking to a few people that I teach at school and whatnot, they have issues with the odd picking patterns because they're not quite used to them yet. And in most beginner videos, you see stuff like down, 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 or maybe up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Basic stuff like that. I mean, to them it could be a bit of a challenge, and with a new song that has some weird chords like a B minor 9th, flat and 7th, augmented 5th or something. I don't even know how to play that. I'm just throwing stuff out. It's probably some really interesting sounding jazz chord. But the three picking techniques that I've discerned from to where it trips up a lot of beginners, and I'd like to clarify, is the tremolo picking, the gallop, and the pinch harmonic. Now, tremolo picking is just the really fast and rapid stuff you hear. That's tremolo picking. It's the fast, continuous picking. And the way to practice that is not to just strum as fast as you can out the gate and tense up your arm, because that's how you're going to wear yourself out and probably cause some muscle damage, which you don't want to do. So what I want to tell you guys to do is to practice this is just start in a very low tempo, going back and forth continuously. And speed up. Keep going. Use the tip of your pick. And there you go. The tip of your pick is your best friend when it comes to trem picking. I see people do the side. That's more of a sweeping motion and not like the cool sweeps, like, not like that. It's just the somewhat annoying scratch. It's not the same sound. Like, if you top of the pick, you still get the drag sound, and that's really only cool when you have the pick scrape. So use the tip of your pick, or the side of a quarter if you are using that like what ZZ Top did. But when you get faster, instead of tightening your grip, relax it a little bit. That would give the pick just enough leeway to where it won't fly out of your hands and you look like an idiot on stage. Because chances are you're not going to have another pick readily available because you're not planning on dropping it. Like, it's not good. And you probably won't get hired again or paid that night if you're lucky. So relax your grip a little bit. And decrease the picking motion. Instead of doing big strums, the smaller the better. Because as soon as you pass the string, you should already be trying to head back to pick it again. So instead of, like, you're strumming chords, just go back, soon as the note rings, back. And I'm not moving really all that fast. There's not a lot of muscle work going on. I like to use a lot more of my wrist and lower arm versus the upper arm and getting more exertion out of it. Like most people, they'll keep a stiff wrist, and they'll stick with the whole arm. I don't like to play like that because, one, you can cramp the arm pretty quick, and the picking won't be as clean. If you use your wrist and your lower arm, you get a lot more done than doing that, because when you use the whole arm, you have to use a wider range of motion. With the wrist, it's minuscule at best. For the gallop, the two songs I would tell you to either learn or just listen to that really defines it would be Mermaider by Dethklok and The Trooper by Iron Maiden. And with The Trooper, I'd say learn that one if you're going to want to really practice galloping, because, well, there are already easily found tabs and an insane amount of lessons on YouTube already for The Trooper. There are, I think, maybe 3 lessons on YouTube for Mermaider. But with gallop picking, this is what galloping is. It's literally triplet eighth notes. And a good way to practice galloping, and especially after you've been practicing trim picking, is just think it as tremolo cut off into thirds. So instead of the cut off into thirds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And eventually you'll get really good, and when you gallop, it might even sound like you're just doing a straight pick. Galloping isn't that hard to grasp, but if you have to do it over multiple strings, that's when it can get kind of tricky. And with that last note, we're going to move to pinch harmonics. Now, the difference between natural harmonics and artificial or pinch harmonics is that natural ones will ring out along the string without any type of effort. All you have to do is place your finger over a, really a unofficially designated spot, like the 12th, 7th, and 5th fret. Those are where the best, in my opinion, natural harmonics ring out, along any of the strings. And with pinch harmonics, those are done artificially because you're touching the string. When it vibrates, it creates a wave. And when you tap that wave, or interrupt it, it breaks it apart and causes a higher frequency. So where the 7th fret of the G string would normally sound like this, depending on where you break the wave along the string, you can change its pitch. And to play pinch harmonics, when you pick, graze either the side of the thumb or the tip of your knuckle against the string, and you'll interrupt the wave, causing the spike in sound. To practice this, you want to use a small picking path, if you will. Just the tip of the pick needs to move the string to get enough for it to vibrate, and then after that your thumb comes in to graze it and cause the harmonic. And with practice, it's as easy as that. So, in a more defined pick, graze. And the less time between the pick and the touch, the better the note will sound. So, recap. Tremolo picking, a light grip and more wrist than arm. Galloping, triplet tremolo picking. And pitch harmonics, fretted note, pick, and thumb. So, practice those three techniques and you'll be able to play 95% of most of the songs that you want to learn. Coming up, another lesson. See you then.